My name is Riata Scott, and in this series of short videos I'm going to show you how to create a two-page newsletter from scratch using some of the basics in InDesign CS6. If you're paying attention, you may have noticed that I have Photoshop open, not InDesign. A lot of people use paper and pencil for the mock-up part of the design process, but I've always just used Photoshop so that I can be sure the images are the right size and resolution for my project. After I have everything where I want it, I separate the images from the mock-up and save them in my project folder. So this isn't a Photoshop lesson, but I'm going to show you what I do. So first I'll place an item. I'll go File, Place. I'm going to pick up this Illustrator version of a giraffe. And we'll go ahead and crop it to the bounding box. So I'll say OK. And I place it where I want it. Resize it. And then when I'm ready to separate these out from my mock-up so that I can place them in my InDesign document, I do it like this. I Control-click the thumbnail to select the contents of whichever layer. And then I hit Control-C on my keyboard. That copies it to my clipboard. Then I hit Control-N on my keyboard. And that opens the new dialog. And it should be set to the correct width and height and resolution. Background contents, in this case I want transparent, so that's good. And I'll click OK. And then Control-V on my keyboard to paste it. Then I can save it. File, Save As, and in this case I want to save it as a PNG. So it's going to be a 24-bit ping. And of course I've done this before, so I'm just going to save over that one, giraffe.png, and I'll click Save. And OK if I wanted to replace it. And then OK again. I like to begin any design project by gathering my content in one folder, like this. This is particularly important if you're using InDesign, because when you place an image in an InDesign document, InDesign links to that image. It doesn't embed it the way that you can embed an image in Word. So if you've linked to images that are in a different folder and you later delete that image or even just rename it or move it to another folder, the link will be broken and you'll be left with a low resolution representation of the image in your document. That means it'll look pixelated when it's printed. Nobody wants that. So as you can see, I've put all of my content together in one folder, and now I'm ready to begin creating my newsletter in InDesign. The first thing we'll do is open InDesign and create a new document. We'll go to File, hover over New, and then click Document, and that's going to open a new document dialog window. Number of pages, let's make that 2. This is just a front and back newsletter. We can remove the check mark from facing pages because it's only a 2-page document, so it's not a book where we would need facing pages. We'll leave the page size as letter, and the width and height are fine. Columns, I'm going to change that to 3 because on the back side I want to create a 3-column span of text, just to show you how to do that. And the gutter, we can leave the default for that. Margins are currently at 3p0, and by the way that means 3 pica 0 points, and that margin's fine for that. By the way, 1 pica equals 12 points, which is 1/6 of an inch, and that's the standard font size for paragraph text. So 3 picas is half an inch, and that's what we've set our margins to. Alright, so now we can click OK. And now we've got our 2-page blank document ready for us to begin adding content. In our next video, we'll talk a little bit about the InDesign interface, and then in the third video, we'll actually start adding content. Before I end this video, I'd like to mention that IT Training offers free beginning and advanced courses in InDesign as well as other software for all students and staff. So if you're interested in learning more, log into training.missouri.edu today and register for a class.